Hello VC, and welcome back to Pretty Green Vinyl Guy. So we got our Vinyl Tag 2019 going on here, and these are great. I've really enjoyed watching all of them this week, and yeah, it's fun. Like, you really have to prepare for this and get your list going. So let's get started. It's 20 questions. I think Andrew at Tales from the Crate put this together from what I can figure out. So Andrew, thank you for doing this. It's a great way to connect with other members of the VC and a great way to find out more about everybody. And yeah, super good. All right, so best finds of 2019. Well, I got a couple here. I got a Japanese pressing of Art Blakey and the Jazz Messengers. This is A Night in Tunisia. Just a fantastic find. We got some Rolling Stones. This is a original master recording of Sticky Fingers, which just sounds phenomenal. Japanese pressing of Love Supreme, John Coltrane. And we'll end on this one. This is the Beatles' Black Album, which is a bootleg of outtakes. Shout out to other VC channels. I mean, as I've said in many videos, I really enjoy watching everybody's channels. If I don't say your name, it's nothing personal. I just probably forgot. But anyway, couple here that are really great, that I look for, and I learn a lot. And anyway. So Eat Sleep Vinyl, I've learned so much about jazz from that channel. Noble Records, I mean, my God, he always has a grail every freaking video. Steve Carlson, Vinyl Rich, James Griffiths, Robert Z, I always get a kick out of his videos. Bobby Gass, Flipside CT, I've learned so much from him. Dean at Grandma's Handbag, Andrew from Tales from the Crate. Another fat bearded man talking about records. I always really get a kick out of his videos. Tommy Burton seemed to connect with a lot of stuff he likes. And Vinyl Boy Trigger down in Australia, I always enjoy and get a good kick out of what he has to show. So yeah, those are some of the ones I look forward to. There's many, many other ones. Holes that I'm looking to fill in my collection. I actually had a great year filling holes. I was really wanting to fill my Tom Waits. Really wanted to fill my Beatles Japanese pressings, which I'm going to do a video on. Really wanted to fill my Neil Young. Those were my three big ones from last year, and I did really, really well. I was looking through the collection pull and stuff for this, and I realized I need more Miles Davis. I need more Doors, just really nice pressings. And I have this book, 1001 Albums You Must Hear Before You Die, and it's amazing. I mean, I don't have, obviously, probably don't even have half of them, but I have quite a few in here, and I think it'd be cool to just flip through these pages and say, yep, got that, yeah, want to listen to that. So I wouldn't mind fulfilling what I'm missing from this book. So there you go. A cheap album that's really good. So this one, maybe, I don't know, this is what I came up with. Dire Straits, Brothers in Arms. Pretty cheap record, pretty common record. But this was recorded really well. This is almost an audiophile recording. In fact, I would guess this is probably one of the best sounding albums you can find for the price. Yeah, and you know, it's a decent album. There's a lot of songs other than Money for Nothing that you kind of don't really think of when you think of this album, but it's a good play, nostalgic, but it sounds fantastic. So let's go with that one. All right, flip the page. Favorite side project. So I got a couple here. I've got Broken Bells. This was, forget the names, James Mercer from the Shins and Danger Mouse. I think they've done 2 albums so far together. That's good stuff. We have Gorillaz, which is Damon Albarn from Blur. And we've got Jack White and the Raconteurs. I guess this one, side project, or was he moving on? But I think there was one more White Stripe album released after this one, so we'll go with this one. A song from an artist that is uncharacteristic. I'm going to go with the Ramones. This was, arguably one of the, original punk bands, badass sounds of USA punk, and of course Phil Spector got their hands on them, and Baby I Love You, which was the lead song on side 2, sounds nothing like the Ramones. It's got strings, it's got, so there you go, the Ramones. Last album you purchased. Well, funny enough, last night after work I went to my local record store and he had this up on the back wall. This was from Record Store Day. I heard so much good stuff about this. I hear the sound is amazing. I haven't listened to this yet. And I guess this was a limited 3,000 copies for Record Store Day. This is $12.86. And I guess they had ordered this for another customer. And it didn't come in for Record Store Day. And the customer had picked it up somewhere else, and he had it up on the wall last night, and I made him a deal and managed to pick it up. So that's the last record I bought. Wasn't meaning to buy it, but I saw it and I knew I couldn't turn it down. All right, great album with a bad cover. All right, I think this is one of the greatest albums ever made, and one of the worst covers. The Beach Boys' Pet Sounds. I mean, guys feeding llamas in a zoo. Anyway, for me, I was trying to think big, and this is one of the biggest historical albums of all time. But yeah, not a good cover. And the opposite, bad album, great cover. I'm gonna go with this bad boy, Beatles for Sale. I think this is one of the most iconic covers of all time. I mean, you can get posters of this, pins of this. It's one of the greatest photographs of all time of the Fab Four. But this album isn't very good. This followed up A Hard Day's Night, which was groundbreaking, incredible album. And this got shoved between that and Help. So this would be a great cover, bad album. For a blues album, I'm going to go with Nina Simone, Pastel Blues. Nina Simone's one of the most incredible voices of our time, and I just think she is unbelievable, and I could just listen to her all day long. So Nina Simone. An earworm song, a song you can't get out of your head. This is mine. This is Fat Boy Slim, You've Come a Long Way Baby, and the song is Right Here, Right Now. Hey, that song comes on and I'm walking around singing it right about now. This is a fantastic album, by the way. Just fantastic. Fat Boy Slim was a DJ, former member of the House Martians in the UK, and became quite famous at all the big festivals for his DJing skills, and this is a great album. All right. A historically important artist. I mean, there's so many, right? I mean, I don't think there's a wrong answer to this. Maybe some controversial ones, but I'm going to go with one that there's no argument about. Sir Paul. I mean, come on. The guy's the best-selling artist of all time. He was a member of the greatest band of all time. He's continued to have an amazing solo career for another 30, 40 years past that. He still sells out the biggest venues. He's still putting out great music. There is no bigger icon, let's be honest. Paul McCartney wrote some of the biggest songs of all time, some of the greatest songs of all time, one of the best musicians of all time. I mean, there's no argument. Love him or hate him, he's an icon. Album you own because of your parents. I've talked about this artist quite a bit. He's pretty dear and near to our family. My parents and I are from Belfast, And you know, my parents are huge Van Morrison fans, going back to the very beginning. And you know, Astral Weeks, one of the greatest albums of all times. I mean, this guy could be a historically important artist, no doubt about it. One of the greatest soul singers of all time and songwriters of all time, and one of the greatest psychedelic albums of all time. So there you have it, Astral Weeks. Best dollar bin find. This one took some thinking. This is a band from the 80s, from the UK. This is Madness, Our House. You can pick this up super cheap. This is a US pressing, which actually came with, it was kind of a greatest hits of their previous stuff with Our House thrown in, and It Must Be Love. And this has House of Fun, Nightboat to Cairo, Cardiac Arrest, Grey Day, It Must Be Love, Tomorrow's Just Another Day, and of course Madness, Our House, which is also a bit of an earworm song. Sometimes I get Our House stuck in my head. But yeah, just good fun, good musicians, highly energetic, and for a buck, totally worth it. Favorite double album? You know, this one's good because you got to think about it. I mean, obviously the White Album would be up there. But I'm going to go with The Clash, London Calling, at 65 minutes plus. This is an original, one of my near and dear members of my vinyl collection. And yeah, I think a perfect album from start to finish. One of the greatest albums of all time, one of the greatest covers of all time by one of the greatest bands of all time, The Clash. Album I learned from the VC. You know, I can't for the life of me remember who told me about this. It was someone in England. It wasn't James Griffiths. Although I've learned a lot from the Vinyl Professor. But this was a band that I heard about from Record Store Day last year. Because in Europe, they redid this for Record Store Day. And when whoever did the video started talking about Fickle Pickle sounding like the Beatles, I was like, my ears picked up, and I'm like, okay, I've never heard of Fickle Pickle, but if they sound like the Beatles, I gotta get in on this. And I tried to find the Record Store Day version, and I couldn't find it. And this summer, I was in Holland visiting my brother-in-law, and the story behind Fickle Pickle is they were a huge success in the Netherlands. They were big there, and this record was only released in the Netherlands. And the first vinyl store I went into in downtown Amsterdam, this was behind the wall on the counter, and I was like, I gotta have this. So this could also fall into my most important find of last year, because this is a pretty rare record. This is pretty hard to find. Anyway, this is Fickle Pickle, Sinful Skinful, and it's a great record. And whoever you are, I thank you. I love this record. Alrighty, a 10-inch. So yeah, I don't buy 10 inches. The only thing, I only had one in my collection, and it's a fantastic album, and the only reason I have it is because it didn't come in any other format. And this is a band from the UK called Kasabian. And this is their first album, and this came as a double album 10-inch. I think all of Kasabian's albums only come as 10-inch albums. And yeah, this is a combination of psych with kind of some pop, some 80s, a little bit of club sound. These guys are great. I've seen them in concert. They opened for Oasis in Vancouver, and my wife and I really enjoyed Kasabian, and I've got a lot of their stuff on CD. This is the only one I have on vinyl, and that's my 10-inch. 7-inch, again, I don't collect 7 inches. Maybe if I had a jukebox or something, that'd be the way to go, but I just can't be bothered to change the record every 3, 4, 5 minutes. You know, it's just too much work. But I showed in my last video, I got the Descendants, Everything Sucks, and I didn't realize that a 7-inch came on the inside. I haven't listened to this yet. This is Lucky Shattered Milo, and I'm going to show, this is my 7-inch because it's really like one of the few that I have. I have a couple tucked away somewhere. I got a couple of Beatles ones that I bought just for nostalgia, but I never listened to them, and they're in a cupboard somewhere. But anyway, the Descendants, that's my 7-inch. Favorite album to fall asleep to? Now, this is kind of funny because honestly, I could fall asleep to anything. Like once you hit like 10:30, freaking Metallica could be playing and I'd probably fall asleep because, yeah, I just, for the last sort of 2 years, I've been on this roll of going to bed early and getting up early. And so quite honestly, I could say anything and people would be like scratching their head. An album that I used to love to fall asleep to was Dark Side of the Moon. I mean, put that in your headphones laying in bed, and yeah, that's a pretty haunting album, and when you get into it, to really just relax and fall asleep to. But anyway, I picked something maybe a little bit more ambient, and that's Brian Eno, songs from an airport, music from airports, pardon me. This was #1 in the series he did. This was another pickup last year. This is an original in super mint condition. And this is a great album, and I could totally fall asleep to this. And so many others. Yeah, so there you have it. There's one question left, and it's my favorite VC experience or advice for those contemplating making a video. You know, don't be afraid. It's super fun. Just make a couple of videos, speak from the heart. You know, show us your passion. It's all inside there somewhere, right? And yeah, it's, you know, it's a great community to be involved with. You know, don't worry about it. No one's going to judge you, and if they do, they're assholes, right? So don't worry about it. And yeah, we all want to hear. We all want to know what people listen to and why, and you know, if we should go find this record and stuff. Everyone has something to offer, and yeah, just to have fun. And my favorite experience is just, you know, you get up like on a Sunday morning and you see Steve Carlson doing his regular video and you think, okay, like life is good right now, right? I get my coffee and off I go. So yeah, it's just the knowing that everyone is there and around and putting together great stuff, speaking from the heart, and there you have it. Anyway, VC, that's my Vinyl Tags 2019. All the best to everybody, and I'm going to come back pretty quick with a new surprise purchase. See you guys.